Hey guys, it's Lane and Katie with Circle G Ranch. Welcome to the channel.
Today we're going to be answering your guys' questions on our rescue horse Black Beauty, and we're going to discuss all things Black Beauty pretty much.
For those of you who don't know, a while back we rescued a horse named Black Beauty from going to a kill pen. We got a call from a guy saying, hey, I know where this horse is at. They're going to take it to sell it for meat. I don't know if you guys be interested or not. I'm like, well, let's go look at it. So we get over there, and the owner starts telling us how dangerous the horse is, and they're going to take it to kill pen. We ended up talking to her and got the horse for $200 and load him up in the trailer, and the rest is history. So we got a pretty cool little journey we have on our YouTube and all our social media. You guys can check out and kind of get caught up. But today we're going to do a Q&A of all the questions people have asked about him. All right, so start it off. What's the first one?
Okay, Lane has not seen any of these questions. I picked them all out. So this will be him just answering. It's not like rehearsed at all.
Yeah, not scripted. Shooting from the hip.
Okay, a lot of people ask what kind of horse he is, what kind of breed he is.
Well, we don't know for sure. I mean, he definitely looks like a thoroughbred, or at least maybe appendix bred, so maybe a quarter horse mix, I guess you could say. I've thought about doing a DNA test for him. I know some people say those aren't super reliable, but something we think we might do. It's a little bit expensive. I think it's like $300 or something. To give us a little bit better idea of kind of what exactly his breeding is. But I want to say definitely thoroughbred and maybe a little quarter horse in there.
And he wasn't like, he has no tattoo on his lip or anything.
No,
right?
yeah, no tattoo. So he's never run on the track or anything, at least to our knowledge.
A bunch of people also ask if he's a stallion or gelding.
He's a gelding. Yeah, he's a gelding. So he's fixed.
Which is why he's with our mares.
Yeah, he's turned out with all the mares. Thank goodness.
If he was a stallion, he would not be out with the mares. Probably very many other horses.
Well, if he was still a stallion, he'd have quite a bit more behavioral problems, which would make more sense if someone was having trouble and thinking he was dangerous. Because if you have a wild stallion,
or just untrained
stallion that's who knows how old, can definitely be dangerous. But he's a gelding, which usually, once you get him fixed, they usually settle down pretty good. So he's a gelding.
The next question someone asked was, how is that a dangerous horse? What have I missed?
You know, we don't really know either. When we went there, they said how dangerous he was. They'd try to run you over and bite you and kick you and all this stuff. It came right up to us. And that was the thing. We got there, kind of put my hands on him a little bit and checked him out. And just wasn't matching up what I was hearing. So I kind of expected to get home and see what they were talking about and see a big problem. But really never did. And, I don't know for certain. And I don't want to, put anybody out. Maybe it was a mistreatment thing with the old owner. Maybe there was some mistreatment going on. Maybe it was a food aggression. Maybe they didn't have a lot of food and were fighting for everything they could.
They're super underweight.
Yeah, definitely underweight. So I don't really know. We have not seen any of the dangerous side of him, which has been great.
I think he was more just like super quiet when we got him.
Pretty laid back. He just likes to eat and hang out.
He is like pushy a little, but that's just like not having like someone like
work with you a little bit. Yeah, a little pushy. Kind of wants to get on top of you a little bit.
Not like in a mean way, just no one put effort in, I feel like.
Doesn't know personal space yet, but he's getting better.
Someone asked, how well does he ride?
Well, I don't know how well he rides yet. I haven't ridden him, but that is in the future plans. We are, once we get him a little more weight put on him, we're hoping to start him and kind of restart from ground zero. They said he's been rode before, but we're going to kind of start from zero and see exactly what he knows and find any holes in his training, bring him along slow in the right way. I think he might make someone a really nice horse, whether we decide to keep him or not. Pretty excited to see what he can do. We don't know yet. It could be a rodeo. We'll make sure we get it on film for you guys. You guys can be there for that.
I'm curious how old he is because he loves Daisy. And she's like,
pretty,
she's young. He has such like a spunky personality, but I mean, he could just be like that. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say he's around 10. That's my guess. So we'll see.
Somebody asked, what was he doing to earn the reputation of being dangerous, but what did we do to fix it?
We kind of talked about the dangerous thing, but I don't know. I think part of it is just him knowing everything's going to be okay, feeding him plenty, and just loving on him. I think goes a long way, especially horses that have, maybe not had that much. I think it pays dividends, and I think horses can have a big change sometimes to their demeanor when they get the basic things they need to survive.
So somebody asked, this may be a stupid question, but do horses know their names?
I don't know if horses know their names. I do think horses know people, though. I mean, I do know horses I've worked with before and spent a lot of time with, and we've had that they definitely respond different to me, even just walking out to the gate or walking in the stall versus somebody else.
They're not like dogs where you can just like call them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Not at least in my experience. That hasn't been the case. Sometimes people can run up to the gate and yell for a horse when they come. I can't say whether they're responding to the name or to that person just yelling. That person could just go out there and just yell hallelujah, but if they have a connection with that horse, the horse is probably going to come running to them. I don't think so, but.
So this question was a two-parter. That was
Okay.
the first part. The second one is, if they don't know their name, how come you didn't change it? Like a fresh start, new home, new name.
Yeah, which that's a very good question, actually.
The answer is don't change your horse's name.
The number one rule in the horse world is never change your horse's name. Every horse's name we've changed
We've had issues with it.
had issues, health issues, or
Like
just
freak
bad luck,
accident.
freak
Like
accidents.
things that you couldn't even imagine.
Could not even
And
imagine.
only the horses that, even people we know that have bought horses and then they've changed their name. It's just, I know there's people out there, I'm sure, that have changed horse's name
yeah.
and it's fine for them. But
We don't do that. Don't
do
do
it.
that anymore.
never
So,
changed their name, and that was the name on the halter. Did we say that
Yeah.
already?
Yeah.
That's how we got his name?
yeah, no, I don't think we did. When we bought him, it came with the leather halter and it had Black Beauty on the side of it. That's what they said his name was, and that's what we stuck with. But I figured he'd been through enough anyway. He didn't need any bad luck on his side either.
Oh, someone asked, we were talking about how we didn't name Black Beauty.
Yeah.
People have asked us why we call him Black Beauty if he's not actually black. People think he might just be a dark bay.
He's black. I don't know what else there is to tell you. I don't know if there's a better way to. Maybe we'll get some better footage for you guys, but he's definitely black. It could be hard to tell on the phone screen sometimes.
Some people have asked what a kill pin is. I don't know if we want to discuss that one.
I mean, a kill pen, slaughterhouse, selling horse for meat, all terms. Basically, people take their horses and sell them for what they weigh and turn them into meat, glue, or whatever else. It's just something people do with horses they can't find homes for, or that are sickly, or whatever the case is, for selling them for what they weigh. So, I don't know, somebody smarter than me can come up with that conclusion. Basically, a kill pen is where people take horses where they sell them for how much they weigh, for meat.
And
They no
are
longer
alive.
are with us. Let's put it that way. That's next.
Okay, I got this question. Why are horses to kill pens when they can just be released into the wild? Or why can they not be released?
There's not a lot of places for them to be released. I guess out west there'd be plenty of
I'm not sure it's legal though to just
Yeah,
turn out like,
domestic horses.
yeah, like
Yeah, illegally, I don't think you can do that. That'd be the first thing. Second, not sure where you do that at. Third, if you take a domestic animal and turn them out in the wild, I don't know how well they fend for themselves. Horses, they stay to their natural behavior for the most part, but I don't know the story before we got him, whether he was a show horse or a kid's horse or whatever he was. I would feel bad about that. I mean, you never know what's going to happen to the horse. You hate to turn the horse out and he die of starvation or thirst or whatever the case is.
I just don't think it's legal to just
Yeah.
turn them out.
Yeah, not a good move, in my opinion.
But I just don't think it's really allowed.
Yeah.
I had a couple people ask why we put him in such a tiny turnout with hardly any grass at first.
When we first got him, we had to quarantine him for a while, which we did that. And we didn't know how he interact with a bunch of mares. The pasture we turned him out with was with all mares. Turned out for a couple hours so he could see and almost nose up to him. He could basically reach across. They couldn't touch yet, but I wanted him to be able to get acquainted with them. They could talk back and forth and see each other. He could run and stretch his legs and get used to eating grass and just being around the other horses. It was small, but
It wasn't like he was turned out there just to fend for himself.
yeah,
or-
yeah. It was daily turnout is what it was. So don't worry.
Betty asked if he's rideable.
Yeah, I don't know.
We did talk
We're
about
gonna
that.
like I said, we're gonna restart his training and see how that goes.
What issues have you experienced so far?
Really, the biggest issue as far as behaviorally has just been his lack of personal space. He is still a large animal, so you don't want him running on top of you. That's not good. Just got to set the boundary of personal space. But other than that, that's really been about it. He's got some health things. His feet are getting better. They were pretty wonky there for a while. And his teeth, he's worn away quite a bit of his teeth. Whether that's from cribbing, whether that's just from eating what he can, scraping his teeth when he's starving, I don't know. But I guess the teeth thing, his feet need a little work, but all that stuff we're working on. The teeth we can't do much about, but we had him floated and had him straightened up. We get his feet trimmed every 4 to 6 weeks. The teeth we just had done, we'll get them done again probably into this year. So
I think another issue is he was just like scared, like reactive at first.
Yeah.
Didn't realize like
that's a good point.
You
Yeah,
know.
super reactive to stuff,
he
super
would walk
flighty,
by and he would like freak out.
be a
He
little
would like
bright-eyed and stuff.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
he would kind of calm down.
Yeah, he's kind of past that now, though.
Do you expect a lot of issues with him in the future, riding him or trying to do more like normal horse activities with him?
I don't know what to expect. They told me they rode him, but who knows if that's true. I might have a little bit of trouble when we first get him started, especially if there's any trauma there. But once we get over the hump and get him riding and get him in a training program, I don't think there'll be any issues. I think he'll make us or somebody else a really, really nice horse.
What about the feed he's on to get him in? We've been giving him.
Right now he's turned out on a round bale most all day, every day for the most part. Obviously we bring him in when weather's bad and stuff. And then we feed Platinum Performance supplement. And the grain we feed is Triple Crown senior feed. They hooked us up with some feed for him. So shout out to Triple Crown for that. But
And he loves
it. Yeah.
He used to take like the biggest bites. He would open his mouth and shove his face in.
Yeah, he definitely eats it up. And the senior feed for Triple Crown is supposed to be the best all-around feed. So that's what we went with. We didn't want to put on something too strong out the gate, but he seemed to enjoy it. So
he loves it.
Yep.
Okay, the last one we got, which I thought was kind of funny, is will Black Beauty ever be for sale?
I don't know. That's something me and Katie have talked about, and we'll see kind of how he progresses once we start riding him. For us, we ride a lot of reiners and ranch riders. We don't have a ton of pasture pets. They all have a job here. Don't know what his role will be in that. Maybe he'll end up being a lesson horse, trail horse maybe.
4-H horse.
Yeah, 4-H would be a good spot for him too.
Yeah.
It really just depends. If we get him riding really good and the right person comes along wanting a lifetime horse, consider selling him. We'd probably sell him pretty cheap. The battle is, though, the cheaper you sell the horse, the better chance he has of not going to a forever awesome place. I'd rather sell him for a little more money and be a little more particular on who you're selling him to. So, I don't know. Stay tuned for that.
The question was, why do we put mares and geldings, we mix them up in herds instead of having a mare pasture and a gelding pasture? Why is he with all mares?
We don't have a lot of geldings in general. Yeah, we try to match up personalities. So if we have a bunch of really marish mares, we'll actually put them together and kind of keep the ones that are kind of lower on the totem pole together in a different pasture. He's pretty laid back, kind of low man on the totem pole, so we put him with the more laid back mares just so he doesn't get run off of the round bale and the shelter and water and things like that. So we just match them up based on personality. We don't have a lot of geldings, so we don't set the place up. This pasture's for mares, this pasture's for geldings. They all got to get along and behave.
I feel like they get along. Just having one or two some of the mares love certain geldings, and some of them they're just not a fan of.
Yeah.
And they can as long as they're not stallions, they can intermix.
Yep.
It's fine.
Now, if I had a bunch of really marish mares, top of the food chain, really dominant mares, I wouldn't put him out there with them because they'd probably beat him up.
Or not let him eat.
Yeah. So we definitely do think about that when we match him up. That's why he's running with the mares.
Okay, I think that's all my questions.
All right. That's all we got for you today. If you guys got any other questions, let us know. We appreciate you guys following us along on this journey, and it's pretty cool for us to do, and it's kind of cool to see the growth and evolution.
What's our next Black Beauty video going to be?
Next Black Beauty video, I think I'm going to bring him in and start doing some basic groundwork with him. Pick his feet up and maybe do some stuff with the lariat. Maybe put a saddle on him, maybe. I don't know. Just some groundwork stuff. Kind of low impact, and just kind of see where he's at, so I have a little better idea of what we're getting into. So stay tuned for that.
This is our first Q&A for Black Beauty. If there's more questions, we'll obviously answer them. I think that's really the most pressing ones. We took over questions from TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Pretty much for the most part, there were some questions on our normal video, so leave us any questions, and we'll keep note of them. We'll either answer them in the comments or make more videos like this.
All right, y'all. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.